My love, we're not running up here. They're so nice to let us look. I'm so scared you're just gonna do a marathon up here. Come, my love.
Double check this, that it's all working. So everything that's will be recorded. Yeah. It's working. There's a 30-second delay.
Okay.
Someone else just got on, which is good.
Okay, yeah, my uncle and my cousin were signing on.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that is really cool.
Alright, they're 10, 15 minutes out, but I mean, we can start and they'll just.
They can become a little,
I have
I
something.
mean, what would actually be fantastic, because I love to bug my sister as much as possible, is if we start and then when they come in, we just stop and we get everybody to stare at them.
How's my handsome guys? I got two handsome guys here, and the one reading one. Two guys? Well, three is
And if not, if, you know, you could put it, because it's been a while, it's not enough. Or if we could,
So for those who are joining us online, we will be starting momentarily. Due to the poor weather here, we are still waiting for a couple of people. So want to make sure that you are clear, you are in the right place for Brianna Renee Alba's baby naming, which will be happening soon. John, what time? I'm not sure. I want to make sure you're okay.
Everyone's here.
Wow.
Where do you need us? Do you want us to sit? Do you want us to be up
Yeah,
here?
start sitting. And then I'll call you. It's, we'll do a few things. Bria? Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. So happy to join with this family again. It was a couple of years ago. We joined together for Nash's naming and today for Brianna. So congratulations. It's nice to see this family is growing. And it's a pleasure to be a part of this. Moments like this, right? When we see so many things in our world that kind of get us down because we feel that things are just not right, we sometimes have to count our blessings. And sometimes that just starts with looking around at the people that we love and care about, and it fills us. And it reminds us of a spiritual truth that if we ever let ourselves get weighed down by what's broken in the world, we have to turn to our lives to see what's whole and right. And again, looking at this beautiful family, I can't help but feel that way. There's so much right. So this morning, we have the opportunity to give Bria her name and to acknowledge two very important women that have helped to influence family members, which will ultimately influence who she becomes. Her three-great-grandmother, but two greats, great-great-grandmother Anna Drayson, and her great-grandmother Carmen Renee Alba. Okay, and what I love so much about the fact that Brianna Renee Alba is getting a name after two women who have played an important role in shaping these families' lives is that tonight is a holiday called Purim, which is created and shaped by the strength and heroism of two very important women. A very ancient text. I actually took this out for us today. This is called the Megillat Esther, the Megillah of Esther, which literally means the scroll, the book of Esther, which is in the Bible. When we think about, 2,500 years ago, approximately, a little less than that when the story takes place, in a part of the world where women had, and still in some respects have very little rights, here we have a story that, in a way, does something so progressive. It uplifts the strength of women and shows that the customs that society has, that somehow there should be this disparity, is laughable. And so this is a story that's a parody, and it's in our Bible, and we uplift it. And the fact that it's happening today, on this day of Bria's naming, honoring two women, I think is just a remarkable coincidence, or better yet, a nice God incidence. A better way to look at this, okay? So let me tell you, there is also, by the way, a hero as well, a male hero who steps up. And if you're not 100% familiar with the story, I want to tell you about these two, these two heroines. So the first is named Vashti. She is the queen to the king of the Persian Empire, the single largest empire in the world at the time. And he asks her at a big feast and gathering to dance in a scantily attired fashion, like really scantily attired, and she says no. And that comment, no, could warrant her death. But instead, she is not. She's banished, but it's a first standing up to a male bully. Then he is dumbfounded. It's an amazing thing. He doesn't know what to do. In fact, he's worried, this king is worried, this all-powerful king is worried that all the women of the kingdom will do the same thing and stand up and oppose to their husbands. And again, that's why this is a parody. It's making fun of these distinctions between genders based on nothing other than your gender, that there's power in one and not the other. And so he writes an edict to the kingdom that says all women must obey their husbands. That sets the stage for the next part of this, and he needs to find a new queen. And he picks this woman named Esther. Interestingly, Esther is her Persian name. She also has a Jewish name, which is Hadassah. But she doesn't share that initially, and she gets chosen as queen, and she's beautiful, and everything seems to be going well, except the evil guy in the story doesn't like the Jewish people, and he wants to kill all of them. Now, she happens to be Jewish, and here's the tension. If she interrupts her husband, the king, he now has to enforce the edict that wives can't disrupt their husbands and tell them that they're wrong, and she then incurs the death penalty. If she reveals she's Jewish, she could be killed just for that. So she has to come up with a very creative way to satisfy both, meaning that without getting herself killed and with saving the Jewish people. And so she really is an amazing, she risks her life to do this, and it's really remarkable. Again, this is in a very ancient text, and this is what we celebrate today. Okay, so enough of that. The hero of the story, named Mordecai, is Esther's uncle. And as a result of what he does, we give gifts to this day on this holiday. You're supposed to give gifts to random people. Just give them, go to neighbors who you don't normally talk to, hand them a gift, give them something, a treat or something delicious to eat or anything. And that reminded me of a story. And I'm going to tell that, and then we'll get to the naming. But this one might involve my friend with the beautiful cheeks back there, who was playing with the rocks over there, Nash. But will give me a moment. So here's the story that I want to tell you. And this is a Purim story that takes place many, many years after this is written in a very small town somewhere in Poland. Is a Jewish community that's very poor. We're talking about hundreds of years ago, so no electric or anything. Leading up to the holiday of Purim, it's customary to bake cookies and in the shape of the evil guy's hat, called Hamantaschen. They're three-pointed cookies. But they're a little bit expensive to make. They require flour and butter to make them soft, and jelly, all of which was expensive. But this one family was so poor they couldn't afford to make their own Hamantaschen. And one day, coming home from school, a boy and a girl, brother and a sister, were walking home, their clothes tattered. Their parents just didn't have enough. And they passed by a home that had a tray of Hamantaschen sitting on the window cooling. And the boy and the girl went up to the window and they inhaled the scent of the delicious Hamantaschen, that bakery smell, when just then the owner of the house saw them and demanded that they were stealing the Hamantaschen, when in truth they were just smelling them. And this person called the rabbi of the town and said, I need you to exact justice. These children have stolen from me. You need to make things right. Well, the children's parents came. They were so sorry. The whole town gathered around all this ruckus. And the rabbi listened to this very interesting argument. The children should pay for stealing the scent of the Hamantaschen. And he said, you're right. Justice shall be served. And he took out from his pocket this called a tzedakah box, And he handed it to people and he said, well, since they don't have any money to pay, we're going to ask everyone to give a little something. And as the tzedakah box went around, people put a penny, a nickel, and the whole crowd added to the tzedakah box until it was almost full. And the owner of the house, who had complained that the children had stole the scent, was looking with a smile on her face, happy that justice was being done. When the rabbi said, finally, after the tzedakah box was nearly full, for the scent of the Hamantaschen that were stolen, you are to be paid back with the sound of money, and then handed the tzedakah box to the boy and girl, who were able to use that so their parents could buy the dough and the butter and the jelly to make their own Hamantaschen. So I want to give this tzedakah box to Nash so he can start his own heroic fund. So Nash, come forward. We'll give him something else to play with in addition to the rock. And tonight at Purim services, when you say the name Haman, you can blot out his name. You know what? Come over here so everyone can see you on the live streaming. Can you come all the way up here? Okay. Can I give this to you? Do you know what goes in here? Coins. Okay. Here, hold it. You don't open it. Let me give you one to put in. There. Let me give you one to put in. Here, put this in the top. See the slot right there? Yeah. And we save this and we give it to someone who needs our help. And then we become a hero. So let me hear you shake it. Okay. So stay right here. Now why don't we call forward our person of honor, Brianna Renee Alba. And in addition to John and Jennifer, how about Tracy and Daryl, Marvin and Vicky, grandparents as well.
Hold on to that, okay?
My mommy just wanted to eat my toy.
You want me to take that?
Okay.
You good holding it?
So,
I'll hold it for you. Okay.
grandparents,
Put the toy.
I'm going to put you on the spot if that's okay.
Oh, we have to go on the other side.
Okay. I have 4 parts, 4 reading parts. Is that okay? I didn't ask you to prepare anything. Just yeah, it's in English. So come stand right here so that everyone on live streaming can see you. And this is a song written by Bob Dylan. It is called "Forever Young." It is a prayer, really. Just reading it. So you'll each read one part as you think about Bria right now.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. May you stay forever young, forever young, forever young.
May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see lights surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright, and be strong.
It's my turn. All right, where are we up to? Okay. May you stay forever young, forever young, forever young. May you stay forever young. Let's do another one. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. You're here.
May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. May you stay forever young, forever young, forever young. May you stay forever young.
Amen. Congratulations to our grandparents. How about aunts and uncles and cousins? Congratulations to Robert and his fiancee Liz, to
Yay.
Ashley and Alex and their
Yay.
child Colton, Michael and Danielle, and their children Allie and Landon. You guys are great. Congratulations. I also want to acknowledge Evelyn as well, great-grandmother. All right, so you've chosen each to share a little bit about these heroines in your life, these women who have played an important role and who now will become part of your daughter. So can you share with us a little bit about them?
Hi. Hello. So, neither Jennifer nor myself are public speakers, but I'm going to do my best to share a little bit about the people that were important to us and have influenced the name that we gave our daughter. And when we talk about these people and the names that were chosen, we share stories and we share memories, and Jennifer will share stories about her great-grandmother, about how she was strong or brave and came to this country leaving her father behind when she was young because she was so determined to make a good life for herself and her family. And she talks about the memories that she has of baking with her great-grandmother. And when they used to bake, they would make these cinnamon sugar cookies, and they would make the Hamantaschen cookies, which are made for Purim. And, you know, that's unique because Purim starts tonight. And Jennifer remembers that when they would do these recipes, there were no recipes. Her great-grandmother would just eyeball everything. And if you asked her about recipes, she would just tell you a little of this, a little of that. So I think that those memories influenced Jennifer and how she wanted to incorporate her great-grandmother's name in our daughter. I'm just taking a, I'm not a public speaker, but I'm trying.
You are doing.
So, Jennifer also would mention things about how she remembered her great-grandmother would call her something, Shana Medela, which is pretty little girl. And I can tell you that there's not a single day that goes by where Jennifer does not tell Bria that she's a pretty little girl. So then there's also my grandmother that we shared some memories and some stories of. And some of those stories are funny, like how my grandmother could never remember anybody's name, and you would go to the house and sometimes you were called the name of an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or a sibling. Sometimes you were called the name of the dog. But then there were also stories that we remember that shaped the family and who the family is, and things like how my grandmother loved show tunes and we all grew up singing and dancing, and how she had a love for music and instruments, and she played piano and guitar and the accordion. So these are all stories that we shared about these two people, and stories that we hope to share with our daughter as she gets older. Thank you.
That's amazing. So strength, she has, and we believe, by the way, right? We believe that the names that we have after people are not just a symbol, but there's some aspect of their soul that's a part of who we are. And so when we hear what you have spoken so eloquently, by the way, John, about your daughter, about these individuals, you are going to see those qualities through her as she grows, that strength, that joy. And the name you are giving to her, Chana, means grace, and it captures, I think, both of those elements perfectly of who each of them were to you. Grace, right? It is true. So, Nash, how about you come back over here? We need your help. Oh, you lost one of your, you can put that in your box afterwards.
Here's the box.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
Do you want to help? Oh, this is nice. Do you want to help put this on your sister? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, we take this talus, Marvin's talus, is that right? No. No? This talus belonged to Marvin?
Yeah.
Okay. Come here close. Come. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'yomotenu kayam hetiyal adah hazot laviha u'le'ima vayikra shema b'Yisrael Chana bat Alexandra ve'John. Our God and God of our parents who have gone before us, raise this child to her parents' loving care, and let her be known with the Jewish name of Chana, the gracious one, daughter to John and Jennifer, and let her name be an inspiration to her parents, to all people, to humankind. May she grow to learn acts of loving kindness, to study Torah and tradition, and one day may you bring her to a marriage worthy of God's blessings. And let us say amen. Nash, we need you again for the family blessing. Come here quickly. Come quickly. Let's see. Can you put your hand, can you hold your sister's hand? Okay. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai p'nei v'kuneka. May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God lift God's face upon you and grant you peace. And let us say amen. Say amen. We have a couple of more moments here. Thank you. Let me ask you something. Do you help with your sister?
Yeah.
Do you help to feed her sometimes?
Yeah.
Do you play with her?
Yeah.
Do you change her diaper?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And one last thing, Nash. You're always going to be a good big brother to her?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So this Kiddush cup, which was used also at Nash's naming, we get to use again. And this symbolizes, of course, sweetness and joy. Parents, grandparents, come close, come close. And don't stand too close, you're right on the edge. Okay, so the blessing over the wine is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. So if you want to touch a little bit to her lips, if that's okay, are you comfortable with that? No, you don't have to. Then take a sip. You guys can take a sip. It's actual. It's like Manischewitz, sweet wine. Take this. You can both take a sip. And one of the most important ways that we celebrate our significant moments in life, of course, is by eating. And so I know you're all heading to a restaurant shortly after this. And to help you begin is the blessing over the food. So you don't have to say the blessing once you get there. You'll be ready to eat when you get there. And of course, this is a challah, which is a significant piece of bread that has been beautified. And when we think about it, it's one of the most important symbols, right? Sometimes a day is just a day until we beautify it, until we make it special, until we mark it. And that's what this reminds us of. And I am sure that every time that you see your children, your grandchild, your grandchildren, your niece, nephews, and cousins, it is a significant moment, right? What do we do, by the way, to make our moments significant? I didn't ask this of you, but is it okay if grandparents give a kiss to? We
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, on the head. Okay. Now, all these blessings, I am a big believer, go from God through grandparents to grandchild. Let me ask you, have you kissed her before? Many times, yes? Yes. So give her a kiss, and then we could say the blessing over the bread. And how about do you want to cut or rip the challah?
That.
Okay, and we can do this all together, but Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Turn the knife upside down. Okay. And cut a piece for everyone to take.
Come have a piece of bread.
And so I hope at some point today everyone will have a Hamantashen. It will remind you of great-grandma Anna, and to just enjoy yourself, to remind you of Carmen, Renee, and then celebrate. So join me in saying Mazel Tov. You want a piece? Okay. And anyone can come forward and take a piece. You know what I'll do? I'll do it halfway. Okay. Here, I'll put it down here. I'll trade this. Oh, good thinking.
Sure, thank you, my love.
So, do you want to say anything to those who are joining you on live streaming? Thank you for joining us this morning.
Go thank everyone for live streaming.
Thank you.
No, you have to stand at the thing.
They could probably hear you.
Nash, can you thank everybody for joining us? Come on.
Nash, are you going to be the king?
Wow.
I'm sorry. Okay, here we go.
Wow.
I love this.
On behalf of the temple, we would like to give to Bria a mezuzah for her door to her bedroom. And I owe you a certificate because I want to have that. So, anything else? Anything else anyone want to say or?
I'm good. I've had my fill of public speaking.
I'd like you to say a few words about me, Jay. Can you get up there and say a few things about your good old brother?
Oh,
The alternatives were picking one of the brothers to come up and give the speech. Now I know. Now I know.
Michael?
Michael's in the green shirt.
All right, Michael. Since you have asked to be spoken about, there is a nice tradition, which I hope you agree to ahead of time. Yes, okay. Which is, of course, the uncle paying for college tuition. So Mazel Tov, congratulations. He was great. So anyone have any questions or about anything? Since we're here, might as well.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome.
It was a beautiful ceremony.
Okay. No, because I don't really sing, so it doesn't sound good when I sing.